Hey, what's up? This is Julian from the Binary Lab and also the Forex Lab. Actually, this is more going to be like a Forex video. As the title says, it's about who shouldn't invest in an automatic Forex trading system. So this could be, who isn't suited for using expert advisors to do Forex automated trading. And this could also be referring to people who are looking into a PAM system. PAM as in PAMM stands for percentage automated money, no, percentage allocation money management. So basically what a PAM does is that it will actually follow the trades of the master account by percentage. And the master account will be traded by the signal provider who is actually allowed his system for cloning to other people via a broker platform. So for example, in my case, I do run uh, a PAM on FX Primus and FXTM. So on FXTM is known as FXTM Invest. On FX Primus is known as a PAM. So in FXTM Invest, basically people through that portal can actually copy my trades. And if that is what you're interested to do, you're interested to copy my trades at a broker level, then you should go into the link beneath this video. This is one link for both of them anyway. If you go to the homepage of the forexlab.net, you would find it there easily. And for those of you who want to actually go through the FX Primus PAM, information is also on that page on the forexlab.net. But in this video, I'm here to talk about like who isn't this for, okay? So the reason why I'm making this video is like because I'm kind of irritated, all right? There was one particular person, I don't want to point any names, but I did receive like series of questions and it was fairly repetitive. It was going in circles and discussion. So it was about a person who actually, joined on a day when the markets were about to move, and basically the floating loss increased on that day, okay, and then he withdrew. So, like, he was asking about the account's losing money, so I took the money out quickly. Actually, he's not the only one. To be fair, that there are a couple of people who've ever asked similar questions, but I think this was the most bugging one because we're literally going in circles, and the fact of the matter is I don't really go into my page reply messages a lot of it's done by my admin, but so I felt as though my time was being taken up when I could have responded to a lot of people instead. But nonetheless, I wanted to give a very thorough explanation. I think that in this video that'll be the best way for me to reach a lot of people. So this applies to people who are looking to do automated Forex trading, whether it's going to be with me using the EA that I hand out for people who open accounts of 1,000 or more for free, or people who join the PAM services that I offer through FXTM as well as FX Primus. And also, this applies to general Forex PAMs in general with other people, other providers, even people who want to subscribe through my FX Book or like MT4I or Zulu Trade for other services elsewhere. Okay, so everything that I say here applies to what I do and what other providers do as well. The first thing that you need to be okay with is slow, steady gains. Like some people who come into my systems, they leave fast because they felt that they don't see gain. All right. The gains that we have here, okay, like the best month so far was last month with 16%. This month we're on track for another double-digit month again. Unfortunately, in March we were bugged with errors. March was bugged errors. April was a tough month because there's a lot of political activity. We actually had to forgo profit that month. And so last month was great, and this month is kind of great as well. And slow, steady gains. Well, how much gain? Well, on average, like last month was doing 16%. This month, we're looking at around the same, about 16-17%. So based on, for those people who are doing it via the PAMs have their management fee, which is typically, I mean, not just speaking for myself and other people, this can be generally in the range of 30 to 50%. So for me, I set it at 30%. So I'm actually towards the lower end. I mean, there's some people who set 25, but I mean, but for the amount of effort I put into my system, I asked for 30%. So can there be more returns? all right? um, well, as a matter of fact, I could just as easily set my system to give about 40-50% per month. I could easily do that. But the problem is, would people accept that? Okay? The same people who want the higher returns may not be able to accept the floating loss and the capital fluctuations that will happen in your account. A lot of people say that they can, but when it actually happens in your account, can you really do it? That's the thing. So another thing I want to say about my system, okay, I cannot say the same thing about other people's systems because they're not mine, okay? And my system is built from the ground up. Although it's inspired by several systems, but I've taken the best aspects of several systems and put them together. There are many providers out there on the market that simply use free systems downloaded from, MT4, the MetaTrader 4 website, and just do some tweaks and basically offer it as their own system. Like what I'm going to get to talk about is basically like fair expectation. Okay, floating loss is something that every system will have. The moment a trade is being initiated, there is spread, there is commission. Broker charges spread and commission on the trade. So ECN trades have commission. If it's a variable spread account, there's no commission, but there's a higher spread. This is normal. And if you're trading pairs like the exotics like Australian New Zealand or pound JPY or Euro Aussie or pound Aussie, these pairs, especially during the New York close to Asian Open, have a higher than normal spread. Sometimes the spreads can go as high as 7 pips, and this is normal. All right. In ordinary times, for some of these pairs, it goes between 3.5 to 5 pips for the exotic pairs. But why do we use them? Because in under certain strategies, some of these pairs may be known to produce certain price movements on a more regular basis that can allow profits to be generated. Does that make sense? So even though the spreads are high, but the profit, no, the opportunity to profit from these pairs are also higher than a different pair. So this can be tracked like a pie chart. So I do that myself as well. Like on a monthly basis, I look at a pie chart to see which pairs are generating the most profit for me and which one is underperforming. And the one that's underperforming, I'll take that out and I'll experiment a different pair with a smaller amount to see that, in terms of buy allocation, how is that performing? If I do not replace the pair, what I do is I adjust the allocation. So for example, I may allocate more to a high performing pair and I will allocate less to a pair that is performing not as well. What is allocation about? For instance, in my system, I use two main strategies. One is a scalping strategy. This is not the primary strategy, it's a secondary strategy. The primary strategy is a hedging strategy. And on the hedging strategy, there is a bit more of adjustment where basically there's multiplier involved, there is starting lot size. So if it's going to be like a low performing pair, I'll reduce the starting lot size. And just for some easy access information, if you've been following my channel, you've been still deciding between FX Premiums or FX TM Invest to follow me on my Fire Your Boss V2 system. The FX TM Invest has a higher leverage, whereas the one on the FX Premiums has a lower leverage. So because of lower leverage, I have to allocate more into the fixed lot scalping secondary strategy in order to make the performance more on par. Okay. So the next thing is that with floating loss, we were talking about floating loss for quite some time already, but I explained that basically floating loss is something that is universal to any trade being taken in the forex market. Anyone who cannot tolerate floating loss should just do binary options instead. So I have my other website, theBinaryLab.net. Just go check it out over there. Or you can also visit my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/thebinarylab page. So binary options trading has no spreads, no commissions, and the trades are very short term. So there's no holding. And some people have a big problem with trades being held for long periods of time. Sometimes the trades that I have on the system, certain pairs, the trades have been held for like since 2 weeks ago, okay? And so basically, what I mean to say is that um, it's part and parcel. So if you're okay with part and parcel, you're good to go. Just basically, look out for the link. I'm going to be updating a link, or you can simply just go to theforexlab.net and basically sign up right now. I have a long, detailed page to detail the way it operates, the system, the methodology, and you can just basically get started over there. So if you understand floating loss, and there's part and parcel, um, like then you're good to go because it's necessary. The next thing is that, okay, like a lot of people are just very overly disturbed by the equity and the balance, because the balance is what you have. Sorry, the in the PAM accounts and FXT Invest, you don't have access to seeing what is the actual balance of the account. You only get to see the equity. Equity, unfortunately, is the balance minus the floating profit and the loss. So I aim to have the floating loss typically between the range of 3% and 9%, so -3 to 9%, based on certain events that can happen. Like, for example, last weekend, there was a strong surge in the US dollar pricing, and this resulted in like the floating loss on Friday last week, going from -3 to minus 10%, finishing on -9%. And then on Monday, there was a surprise movement as well. It went actually up to -13%, -14% even. So that was actually quite a surprise. And things like that can happen. But what's important is for you to look into, I see like a freezing in the video. So are you guys still able to follow me here? I'm not sure I'm not sure why it's kind of lagging. Can someone type? All right, I think it's okay now. So, oh dear, my YouTube live is lagging. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So let's get back to what I was saying. Like, despite the floating loss, so what you guys all have access to is the daily statements. So check your statements daily. The way I've designed my system allows you to see daily profit. Under any circumstances, you will at least see between 2 to 4 closed trades on a daily basis. Monday was one such day where the closed profit was actually quite low because of all the things that was happening. But generally speaking, my system is delivering about at least 0.4% per day. On average, it does about 0.8% per day. And on some days, like yesterday, actually did 1.4%. So even as, okay, I want to give you an example, all right? Even if today, right now, the floating loss is at -11, okay? Because my system is a hedging system. A hedging system means that a system is taking profits in both directions. It's taking trades in both directions. So even when the price is moving against you, in the other direction is moving the market is moving in the direction of my trade, because I'm trading bi-directional. So because of the bi-directional trading, even though today it could be -11%, but because on average it's making like I said 0.4, between 0.4 to sometimes even 2%. So average out maybe about 0.8%. So let's look at, let's say between like in 2 weeks from now, or 2.5 weeks from now, the account would have made this, what is currently the floating balance. So even if the floating balance remains as it is, okay, your account balance will have grown enough to show that you're not actually in any form of a loss. Now, the market goes up and down, and sometimes you can say that, okay, while it is true that what goes up comes down, and what goes down must come up. But what goes down for a very large amount may not necessarily come up by a large amount, by as large an amount. Make sense? It may come out for a lesser amount than how much it went down. So this is where martingale is necessary, because martingale allows us to exit a basket of trades with a profit, even though the price has moved against us. Uh, when the recovery swing may not be as big as the plunge or the spike. So in that sense, what I'm trying to say is that I've got you covered. Alright? So if you haven't already noticed this by now, in several videos, over the past bunch of videos on my channel, and all the blog posts that I write, you can actually gather that I'm fairly confident in my system. Why? Because I know it in and out. I'm the one who designed it. I didn't outsource this to someone else. It's true that in the past in Binary Lab, I did JV with other people offering like Forex systems. But I mean, those were not systems that I like. Those were different because those were like external parties. Over here, everything is within my control. Everything is in line with the strategies that I teach and the methodologies that I use and teach my students with. By the way, could someone watching this video tell me if this video is choppy or not? Because on my end, I'm looking at it, it's very choppy. So I don't really know. I hope everything is getting across fine. So in closing, of course, if you have any questions, any further questions to ask, you're most welcome to send a message to the page. I think sending a message to the page is the most reliable way because Facebook doesn't seem to rob any of the messages that way. But when it's sent to the personal account, I don't know why. Like a lot of messages just go missing. So it's kind of frustrating as well. I know many of you have been trying to get me the voice message, but let's do it this way. I think just try to contact me through the page. If it's a Forex question, go to facebook.com/ForexLabOfficial. If it is a binary lab question for binary options trading, go to facebook.com/TheBinaryLab page. Send a message through the page, and if mostly it's my admin who's the one who's monitoring the page, and if it's a question that they cannot answer, or let's say you want my reply and not theirs, then let the admin know that you would like my reply. So that way, I'll make arrangements to connect with you on using my personal Facebook message, and have you respond to that, and then I'll be able to then send you like voice message replies, or even like today I actually do screen recording using my phone, so I could actually send a video message to someone to reply about inquiries as well. So in summary, anyone who is not okay with floating loss and oh dear, what happened to my screen? This is strange. My screen just blacked out. No, my front camera just blacked out. Okay, that's really strange. Okay. So in summary, if you're not okay with floating loss, you're not okay with not being able to see what trades are open, you're not okay with just looking at your daily profits that are sent to you via daily reports by the broker, then you're probably not suited for Forex automated trading or PAM. And I mean, okay, like it's true that if you have your own account and install an EA on your own account, you can see what's happening. But if you're not okay with floating loss, then you probably shouldn't run it at all, because it's like a lot of people have this mentality that when they see something that's not going right, they just get suspicious and they pull out, and it's going to be uncomfortable. All right, many things in life are uncomfortable. Before, have you heard the phrase, it's going to get worse before it gets better? Right, you heard that before? So that's basically kind of like what it is. All right, your account will get worse before it gets better. From the balance you initially deposit, there's going to be a working margin. Every business needs operating costs. So that cost, fortunately for you, it's not a banked loss. It's just a floating loss, between 3 and 9% usually, sometimes a bit more. If you understand this, you're most welcome to start theforexlab.net. Just go there, theforexlab.net. The information is all right there on the front page, and you can get started over there. If you have any further questions, I'm more than happy to reply you. Like I said, I don't reply all the messages done by my admin, but I do check once in a while. But in case you like a response from me, go to the page, and then let the admin know that you'd like to connect with me to have a question answered. You want my feedback on a question. So, uh, Facebook page is facebook.com/ForexLabOfficial for Forex questions. And for those of you who are having binary questions, you want to contact facebook.com/TheBinaryLab page. So previously, I did give out my personal Facebook user account. The only problem with that is that Facebook has serious bugs and so many messages have gone missing. So in order for messages to not go missing, send a message through the page and have the admin to contact me, and I will basically link up with you using my personal Facebook account. Bye for now.